What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Mastermind Creations' Night Morpher. Technically, it's the Night Morpher Commander Evil Edition, or Toxitron Edition, or whatever. It's a purple Night Commander. Now, I picked this up over at BigBadToyStore.com. They've recently had a very nice sale on this figure, so I went ahead and picked him up. I've always wanted him, but I've always figured it was just a little bit too expensive, and then they were selling it for like $60, so I went ahead and bought it. It's a really nice looking figure. The difference in purples and charcoal gray and silver and gold really stand out. It comes on this track that it doesn't really fit well on. Yeah, there's that. So we could just remove the train tracks that it comes with and put it on the ground, and it rolls pretty much just fine. Now, like the original Optimus Prime, he does have this trailer section which opens up to form a battle platform. It opens up and contains a giant cannon, or giant neon purple thing, we'll say. You can disconnect the front of the engine from it, or the cab, I should say. This will become the robot and some parts and some of his weapons, so we'll put that off to the side. This is the holster for one of his weapons, actually two of his weapons. First, this really cool black and silver and gold sword, and then there is a lance inside the giant cannon back here, which does move forward, and there are also some holsters for fists and other components here on the bottom as well. The giant neon pink cannon comes apart, so you have this mortar cannon effect now, and then inside the shaft of the cannon is stored the lance. These also are supposed to fit on the figure's back as well, or back of his arms. We'll see that in a little bit. Oh, and here's the lance, by the way. The transformation into robot mode is very simple. The first thing is remove this section in the back and unfold it to form a really big shield, and then remove the smokestack, which will then fold forward, and then the tip will flip out a barrel of a gun, and that will be his gun in robot mode. The figure's transformation then is, as I said, very simple. First, unpeg the wheels, then come down to the wheels up front and fold them up and slide them up against the thighs. Fold the wheels all the way down, separate the sections, and then extend them to form the legs. And this is actually the hardest part of the transformation, because snapping the knees into place requires an excessive amount of force. Once the legs have been fully extended, come down to these purple sections, and then flip them forward, and open up these back panels, and that allows you to flip the feet down. Just be wary, the feet are on these hinges, and they do have a tendency to pop off rather easily, but just be wary of that. And then these panels just stay like that. Turn the figure around and take what I'm assuming is the boiler section, fold that out to form the shoulders, flip this section down, come up to the front of the train and flip the front of the train down, and then you can rotate the head around and into place. And then we see what is effectively an evil matrix of leadership, and there's a green thing in there that it's really hard to see. There we go. I don't know what that's for, but we also have this green piece up front, which this whole section pops out, which is really weird. So there's that. We'll just put that back. And fold that back up to form the chest again. Then the arms will unpeg and fold down from the shoulders. Ow! 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 It requires a lot of force to get the arms out from the shoulders, and unfortunately this is a Mastermind Creations figure, so it's also an early Masterminds Creations figure, which means a lot of the stuff is overly tight and you have a tendency to hurt yourself on them, which I just did, and it hurt. Last bit is taking the parts of that giant cannon, and they will fit right on these sections right here using these cutouts. So the effect is he's got these clear purple jump jets, which is actually pretty cool. In robot mode, Night Morpher looks really freaking awesome, especially in this purple. This is the reason I picked this specific figure up, is because of the purple. it just works really well for me. And it looks really, really gnarly. The only issue I have is to do with the arms and the shoulders and the shield, which sometimes the shield just does not want to go on very smoothly or at the right angle that I would like it to be at. Sometimes you just gotta fiddle with it because the shoulders get in the way. Now, as you see, he is holding the shield and the gun, and in the other arm, we can have either the lance or the sword. The lance, while cool, is all black and doesn't break up the figure or doesn't really feel like it goes with the figure totally. So I like to use the sword. So he's got the shield and gun in one hand, or on one arm, and then the sword on the other. The only issue I have with the figure as a whole, other than it being an early MMC figure, is that sometimes it's really hard to get the accessories into the hands. Overall, though, the aesthetic of the figure is fantastic, and the overall feeling of just the ruggedness of in the 18th century or 19th century train mold works really well, especially in this purple and gold and black. I know that the figure was originally released in like Nemesis Prime version colors and the original Optimus colors. I don't think that works nearly as well as what we have here. The head sculpt also screams evil to me for some reason. Maybe it's the slats on his faceplate that remind me of the Fallen from the original War Within comics. And not only does he look evil, he also has evil light piping. Man, glowing evil green eyes are the best. For scale, here is Galvatron from Titan's Return, just to give you guys an idea on how big this figure is. The version of this figure that I picked up at Big Bad Toy Store also came with the Destroyer Axe from Cherry Bomb Toys, which I'm not totally sure exists anymore. The way this system works is you take one of the hands and, well, actually not one of the hands, one of the arms, and you actually undo the screws, take it apart, and remove the fist, and then replace the fist with one of these green sections that just peg in like that into the fist. Then you peg the axe into that green part. I didn't want to do that, so I just have him kind of hold the green part that it comes with, then hold the axe. I think that works a little better. It's not ideal, as you can see in the picture here. You're supposed to be able to have it look more like the Energon axe from the original show, but I don't want to take the figure apart. The axe, while very cool and works well with the paint scheme, is a little bit limiting in the fact that he can't hold it. I would have preferred that they came up with a way to just clip it over the fist, as opposed to having to take the arm apart. The purple Night Morpher Commander is really, really neat, and I specifically wanted the purple one. Not the black one, not the Optimus Prime one, but the evil purple one. Simply because I think it's the coolest of the three. It's by far my favorite, and the colors are just kind of what I envisioned this mold should have. It's a fun figure, but if you're going to pick it up, just beware that it does have some of that early Mastermind Creations jank to it. It's not bad, it's not poorly constructed, it just has that weird original third-party jank that they've since thankfully gotten rid of. Overall, I definitely recommend picking this up. Just be careful with some of the parts, as you could really hurt yourself while transforming it. So gang, I hope you've enjoyed this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix. Ask you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.